Hey Jim, how you doing?
Great. Well, hey, Jesse, it's always great to get with you when we're just highlighting different things about authorship and really getting people published. But also today, I'm excited just to talk with you a little bit about a few different things. And so, first off, we want to hope everyone is having a great beginning of 2025. I'm Jim T. Chong, the Walkstar publicist, and also media innovator for Elite Publications and other things that I stand for is really helping people tell their story. And Jesse, you are somebody that's been so prolific about this over the last several years in doing this. So, Jesse, great having you here today. And I wanted to start off with there's so many exciting things to share here. um, I'm just going to start with this. I see some awards back there. I know you got some pretty great awards this year already. And the first is the Olympia Award for Publishing and Innovation that was presented in Hollywood. And it was great to be able to have you acknowledged there. How do you feel about that, Jesse?
Well, Jim, first of all, hey, listen, thank you for interviewing me on the Becoming Author podcast. It's really great. Thank you, Jim. It was really amazing to receive that award. And, I'm in the martial arts business and a lot of the publishing that we do, not just martial arts, but we do other things. But, that's one of the primary places I work in. But to be recognized, for the work that we're doing in the publishing industry and not be recognized by a martial arts organization. Again, this was a media, organization we were recognized for, and we got the bling bling, we got the medallion, and we also received, which was really outstanding, of course, the certificate, but we also received the California State Legislature Certificate Award for publishing, outstanding publishing and media innovation in the martial arts. So, that was pretty, that was great. We had a lot of fun. We're being blessed with a lot of great opportunities. We were, just a few weeks ago, we received the Action Martial Arts Hall of Honors Excellence in Publishing Award. And we've also partnered with them. And now they're endorsing us as their official publishing company for the Action Martial Arts Magazine Hall of Honors, which is giving their inductees an opportunity to publish. They receive discounts for publishing by choosing Elite Publication, as their publishing source. So we have the Action Martial Arts. We also have PKA Worldwide. We have the MAN organization. So we have about 4 or 5 organizations that we are their direct publishing source that they're introducing for their members. So we've been having a lot of, positive growth, and just because we're trying to do the right thing and help people tell their story.
I'm really excited. Hey, first off, show us your Action Martial Arts Hall of Honors Magazine Award. Can you show us there? I know it's got to be one of those back there.
Well, hey, here we go. Bling, bling.
All right, bling, bling. Jesse, I've been seeing you smile so much. Sometimes we can get very serious because we're dealing with serious matters. We're dealing with people's stories and stuff. But this is about you today. And I'm really excited because a lot of times, especially in this world today, we have AI, a lot of things we can look at. People are self-proclaimed. And it's really important. I think you and I are on the same path here. A lot of it isn't about us, but it is about us. What I mean by that is that it's not so much that that we need this acknowledgement, although it feels good and we want it. Of course, everyone wants it, but it's about the credibility. And Jesse, I just wanted to really mention I'm really excited just to see your efforts really come to fruition, because it's one thing to talk about it, it's another thing to be a do it first leader, to really achieve what you're telling people to do to achieve a certain rank. You're showing it can be done. And one thing I wanted to highlight is that through all this, everything has a beginning. And Jesse, I've known you over the last several years, a man of your word, a lot of integrity. You're very straight up business advisor, life coach. You're doing a lot of things, even in the background, working with Duke University. And I wanted to mention this. Everything has a beginning. And this is what we tell people, start with your beginning. A lot of times we do that. So, I'm going to call you doctor, since you're a doctor, actually, but Dr. Jessie Bowen, take us back to the beginning and what inspired you to really start the Become an Author podcast.
Well, wow, Jim, that's a long ways back. The very first thing I want to, really say about publishing is that, and my motivation, a story can change someone's life. Whether I read that story in a book, what I read in the magazine. And I remember, 50 years ago, when I started martial arts, my very first day, I hadn't even seen the word karate. I knew the word karate, but I had not, because I watched the Bruce Lee movie. And my very first day, I went into a store, and as I was walking out, my eye caught the top of a magazine, and it said karate. And it was Karate Illustrated. And that was the magazine of the times during that. I never seen a martial arts magazine. I got involved in martial arts because I didn't want to get beat up anymore. But I went over and I picked up the magazine, and it was Karate Illustrated magazine. And there was a picture on the inside, an advertisement of Chuck Norris with his foot up in a chair, a little old lady, him in his uniform, and he had this huge trophy cup sitting on his thigh. I decided that very day I wanted to be a karate champion. Not 6 months, not 2 years. That very day, that image still sticks in my mind today. And that was the power of that image in that magazine. If I had not picked up the magazine, I probably would not have been inspired by that image. But because I saw that magazine, that was a powerful movement for me in the martial arts. So everyone has a story. The question becomes, can we motivate someone else through our story, through our image? And, that's I was actually reflecting on that this morning, was that seeing that image of Chuck Norris and then having the chance to be able to have him to inspire me as a brown belt. I met him in person. And then a few years ago, we partnered in publishing a book, biography book, his pictures on the cover. So, just by sharing a story, you can change someone's life. We started the publishing. It was not intentional. In 2015, we published a book, was Who's Who in the Martial Arts. And it was a tribute to my teacher. There was never scheduled to be a second book. I'd published other things before. But the book came out and people were inspired, and Grandmaster Joe Corley and Jeff Smith said, well, let's do another. We're going to bring some folks together. We did a second book, and here we are going in the 12th book. We're an international publishing company, and we received numerous awards for our work. My life has changed. I sold my martial arts school to now continue in the martial arts, but as a historian. That's what I sort of look at, is that we're preserving legacy. And that's what the Becoming Author podcast is about, is to really to help people to understand how to publish. It's just knowledge. I'll give it to you if you'll use it and then turn something, from the knowledge. So that's what we've done with the Become an Author podcast. And, we've been blessed with the new website, and the new website is really amazing. We have our online courses, so you can click a button and take an online course. We have our weekly blogs up there. We have, live training session. We got a lot of things going on. This is really an amazing website. So please go over and check it out. Look in the post. And you can now pull from that and get the website. And remember, that you have a story. Everyone has a story. So my beginnings in the publishing to be an international best-selling author, and all of this started because I was trying to do something good for someone else. So your story, whether or not you're doing something good for yourself or you sharing something that you have done but will change someone else's life, you will be blessed by sharing that information to help someone.
You know, this is really good. We're going to get to the website in a bit. You mentioned that, and I saw it, watching it emerge and just see what has contributed to it. Congratulations on that. We're going to talk about that in a little bit, but I want to just first off highlight congratulations, because I was looking back. It's like 4 years. You've had this podcast that's grown into an award-winning platform. And, what do you think is the key to its success as it has emerged? Like anything else, it was a seed, right? And now it's grown, and it's starting this year is really starting to take wings. What do you think is the key of that?
Well, having great people, Jim, we had Natalie was a part of our podcast. We had Karen Herdman. So we brought some great people on with a lot of knowledge, as our publicist. So we have actually offered a lot of great information. And then you have people that have taken advantage of that information. And so now we have extended it and making it easier for people to get the information. So just like with everything else in broadcasting and media, it's information, information, whether it's free or whether it's paid monetary. Well, it doesn't really matter if it will help someone. Now we have a Roku channel, and we have the Roku TV. So we're not only in podcasting, we're into television production. We actually have, and we're working on doing an update, a Fire Stick channel on Amazon. So, we really are not just a one-dimensional publishing company. If it's done in publishing, we do it. We do website building. We are doing Wikipedia pages. We're doing graphic design. So, as a company, we have now found the different ways to be able to serve, to be able to have an easy button, to help people to be able to write, publish, and be able to monetize their products, their books.
Right. You mentioned an easy button. I think it's great. Ultimately, people still have to do the work. We can say, hey, publish your book, but with AI, we can talk about how that simplified things. Before we move off the topic of the podcast, I mean, it's been great. You've had a lot of great guests. I know all of them have been fabulous. But can you share a standout moment that you remember, or a guest from the podcast that has truly made an impact on your audience above and beyond? What is something really memorable to you?
Well, I think of having our authors come on, 4 or 5 authors come on and tell their success about their book. So it's another way we use this to help our authors to be able to promote themselves and to be able to get their books out. So the marketing from that, and I really think that our last year's book that we had with the Who's Who, and you're having 10, 15 people, 25, 30 authors on at one time. So we've helped over 2,000 people to tell their story, whether it's through our biography books or their own personal books, to be able to tell their story. And my favorite is having Cynthia Rothrock on, and having Joe Corley on, and when I get all those guys on together, it's like the historians of the martial arts.
Love
so
it.
that's a really great show. But every show that we've had is always great. I mean, every show we do has been a really great show. I'm always enthused after it. And, and again, because of the podcast, and again, it's not only on our podcast website, but our podcast is also on Spotify. It's on Audible Books. So there's about 30 places, you can go to your any of your channels that serve podcasts, and we're on it. So we're a global program. So every time someone comes on, it's always great.
That's really good. Now, I'm excited because, just like building a house, you have the cornerstone, which is arguably the most important stone to put in place to anchor everything. You've gone on from the podcast now. We've seen a lot of the innovations and things that have happened just in technology as a whole. But from that, we now have the launch of your Become an Author podcast website. And what do you think makes this specific website unique for you?
Well, the uniqueness of this new website is that it has everything in one place. We have coaching services that we offer. So the website, you can now access our courses, our online courses. You can do that. We're going to be having a weekly update, a free class. So the website is also our author publishing school. And that's the new thing that we've added. So now think about school. You go there to get educated. You're going to get your degree. So now we have a 30-day publishing course up that in 30 days from scratch, in 30 days, you can have your book ready to go up on Amazon or Ingram or any of these other platforms, to promote yourself. So just having that and the other things that we're creating, how-to podcasts. We're writing a book on podcasting, and that's the neat thing. Wherever you are and whatever you're doing, it's a book. I just sent out emails to some people that were in our compilation book, and I was saying to them they wrote a chapter in there. So now we're at the place that let's take that chapter that you wrote in our book that's being sold on Amazon through softcover, hardcover, Kindle, and now Audible book. We want to help you write your book. So that story that you publish, we want to help you to be able to turn it into a book. And, our team is going to help them and stand shoulder to shoulder and through the editing process. It's going to be a very easy process. And, because they're in our book, they get special discounts on publishing. And our goal is that every one of our authors become a international best-selling author.
Yeah, well, I really am inspired just to see, the dream come true. I know both you and I've dealt with the word legacy for a long time, and also just seeing what we're doing to help people be able to actually publish their book, not just think about it. The tools on there sound fabulous. I know we can go on and on about the tools, but I wanted to ask, how do you think your website currently enhances experience for current and aspiring authors? Why would people want to look at the website?
Well, our whole thing is to motivate people to actually take the step to becoming an author. Number one, it's a great looking website, is friendly to navigate through. But if you look at our podcast, all of our podcasts are up there. You can go back, the past 60, 70 podcasts we've actually done. But to become inspired to take action, inspired to be able to take action, and that you can see, well, if I wrote a book and it became a bestseller, then you should be able to write a book and become a bestseller. And I guess with the part that we leave off sometimes, why would you want to write a book? Well, number one, I have a message. Number two, that message now has changed my life. So I changed to someone else's life. But now just think about, I get 10,000 people that buy my book. That not only did that change their lives, but financially, it changed my life too. So you're sitting on a gold mine. Your story could be a gold mine, because now when you get enough people reading your book and you're changing lives, guess what? You are blessed in return. Someone said, well, I don't like money. Well, I say, well, we have a nonprofit. You can donate to our nonprofit. It's okay. But that's what we're really trying to do. We're trying to create revenue base. As I said before, I wrote a book, and the book became so powerful, and that it really outperformed my business. It was competing with it. So I decided to sell my business to focus on the publishing part. So that's how powerful a book can be. If you now will use it, you can monetize your business. You can create your own speaking company. You become an expert. And guess what? Because you're an expert, you're actually paid more for your knowledge.
Yeah, this is very, very key. And, there's just a lot of rich resources out there on the site. Can you walk us through some of the self-paced courses and how they will help writers on their journey, which you can, again, find on the website? But walk us through why do people care about your self-paced course?
Well, number one, when self-paced courses are already pre-written, there's the information that someone else has used. They made success, so they share that with you. So when you go into the navigation, we have the home page, you have the episodes of the past, you have the about, and most important, you can contact. So right on the website, you can join my email list. I don't mind sharing information. If you got a question of how to or what if, then I'm willing to share any information I have. You can also make reviews of our podcast, and then we have our blog. And not only are we an audio podcast, we're also a video podcast. So you can now listen to our podcast, or you can now go back and watch the videos. We have the store, and the store has books and things that we've actually used. You can check out our sponsors. You can actually become a member of our podcast, and then you get very specific opportunities to reach out and ask questions. And then again, we have our courses. So Jim, you can see that it's an information website that we're not just talking about books, but we're actually doing it, and we're actually going back, and we're helping people to be able to gain that knowledge that they actually need to have.
It's fun, just in the real world, the way we deal with these, Jesse. I mean, I love hearing your phone ring there. I think we could tell a story even about the ring. Everything's about story for us, and when you look at the Become an Author podcast, in all sincerity, how do you see this website impacting the publishing industry?
Well, times are moving, and you don't want to get left behind. And that's the reason why we chose this website, because it's one of the most up-to-date websites out there that provides so much. It has all the technology on there. Again, we have our Apple podcasts on there, Spotify, and again, we have others that's going to show up on there. But it's so compact to deliver everything that if you're an author, then you have to come to this website. You have to look at the resources there, and to be able to support your ideas, whether you're publishing with elite publications or not, it really doesn't matter, because that information is to help you to be able to publish your book. Now, everyone thinks, well, it's pretty easy to publish a book. Well, see, there's so many things there that you can miss, and that will, number one, make your product look bad, or you get locked into situations in which you lose the rights to your book. So there's a lot of pitfalls in the publishing business that someone needs to have the answers to before they engage.
There's a lot going on. I know there are, definitely challenges that authors face. There's also talking about just the different trends in technology, but I want to jump right into this as we are running out of time. But, we have a responsibility in anything we do if we really want to position ourselves as experts. All right. What makes Leap Publication really stand out as a publishing company, and what do you see its role is in helping the authors?
Well, just where is that? I'm looking at the camera. I have to find my patch. That's like the word elite. That
Right.
means, a step above. And we take that very seriously because that's who we are. We started in the martial arts industry, but we're in the Christian industry as publishers. We're in the corporate industry. So we're taking that step beyond that. We have a product that we can now add to any type of business. We're actually now, just like our Who's Who book and organization, we're actually superimposing our success in event management and publishing and sharing this now with other organizations, helping them to be able to add what we've done, a book to their organization. So we have expanded not just by publishing. We have clients that are in Australia, New Zealand, all over the world, in Brazil. So we're not just a one-dimensional publishing company, and that's what we've been able to bring to the world is the uniqueness and the ability to help create ideas, concepts. When organizations now want to do what we're doing, I'm not saying, okay, I know I'm going to keep it for myself. That's just totally selfish. No, I'm going to show you how to, if you're using our service, I'm going to show you how we do what we do in order for it to be able to help you. So that's the thing about Elite Publications. We are, we're a Christian-based company, and everything that we do is really about how do we make the world better. And I believe that helping people to tell their story is a powerful way to help create change in the world.
There's a lot of things that are, that are really happening, and just even how we do things in general. And, I know that you have a bestseller marketing program. You have a lot of resources here that we'll get into on future interviews. But what I wanted to do was take a look down the future and end out with a couple things. First off, I'd love to hear, what is your long-term vision for the Become an Author podcast? What is your vision for that?
That we're a franchise organization. Okay. So that's what we're doing. We're building a platform, that I don't necessarily want to do this every day, but the knowledge is very powerful. So, if someone wants to duplicate an Elite Publications publishing company, so we're hoping in the next year to 2 years max that we will be able to offer a franchise for people to now come in and take our program. And, this is a self-publishing program, but to be able to take it on and they can earn, thousands and thousands of dollars by being in the publishing business.
Yeah. Really interesting. I love our focus, and I know one thing we're very adamant about is really doing what's right, really never forgetting where we come from. We got to help people, even though our dreams are big, a lot's been accomplished, what we've done through Elite Publications, we can't forget the person just starting. Okay, Jessie. And let me tell you this, before I ask you this final question about that piece of advice you're going to give to aspiring artists really wanting to publish a book, I will tell you, I stepped into a Starbucks. It was very interesting. I don't know if you've had this yet, Jessie. I went in there and I could not find a power plug in Starbucks. Is that crazy? Or have you seen those?
I've had that happen to me also.
Starbucks started with students, a place for people to hang out. Now, all of a sudden, for whatever reason, they're actually designing Starbucks with no power, which means that people can't do what it was originally designed to do, and they have the reasons. I have my thoughts. I thought, wow, this is the thing that fed them. And now they're really cutting it off, literally, by not giving you power to plug in your portable. Now, sounds like a small thing. Maybe they have the reasonings. I don't know what the reason is because I just ran across this. But I hope they never forget where they come from, because a lot of people enjoy their places. They made it a commodity. And same way, I hope that everything you do out there as authors, you never forget where you come from when you do, quote unquote, whatever make it means for you. but we never want to forget the author. Ultimately, everything happens because you decide to write your book. We want to treat you with honor and dignity, no matter where we're at in life, where you're at in life. If you want to write that book and you're serious about it, we want to help you really be able to transform just your passion into a potential published book. Jessie, what is that one piece of advice you can give to people to really turn their passion into a book, a bestseller?
Well, listen to your heart, listen to the universe. How many times have you had someone to walk up to you and say, you should publish your book because you have all this knowledge? And they said, you should publish a book. How many times? So that may be the universe, God speaking to you, telling you you got some information that really needs to get out. I just finished a book, and it's a Christian book, and it's titled "Don't Procrastinate on God." And what does that mean? That means if someone had not taken action, we would not be on this computer right now. Someone had an idea, they had a thought, and now the world is powered by the computer. Jen, you're in what?
There's a place called California.
Right. And I'm in Eastern North Carolina in the snow. We wouldn't be able to have this podcast unless someone took action on an idea or concept. So I would recommend that when you have an idea or something that you have perfected for yourself, even if it's a bad story that you don't want someone else to go through, then that's a good story to publish. So when you have any type of scenario that's going on, I write on everything. I've got 30 some books, and that's 30 some decisions I decided to tell the world about. You may have one. So make that decision to write your book and tell your story. If you're having problems or thinking that I don't know where to get started, well, then, give us a call, come to Elite Publications. And, we want to be able to help you to be able to tell your story, to be able to get it out. And if you're publishing your book and you're not doing a self-publish, you really have to be aware that you can lose the rights to your book if you're not careful. And then you will never get them back, because once a book is published on Amazon, Amazon doesn't take the book down. And the publishing company becomes a recognized author first in your book. You may send an email, well, that's my book, I want it back, but they're not going to publish your book. So there's a lot of pitfalls that you have to think about. So, give me a call, 919-618-8075, if you've got a question about, about the publishing, whether you're publishing with Elite or not. I'll be more than happy to answer the question for you. But, give us a call. Remember, go to the website, and it's scrolling across the screen. And remember, go to the website, go through it, check it out. If you like it, leave us a review, listen to our podcast. Because remember, everybody has a story, but you just have to get it out.
I love where you come from with your heart and your passion. Us joining forces in the past. I know there's some great things that are coming together for us, Jessie, and definitely for you as an author. And I'm very inspired, Jessie. Again, congratulations for all your awards, and also just your accomplishment in just the website being released, a real state-of-the-art website, a great resource for authors. Make sure you take heed, if you're out there, to not let another year go by without your book being published if you feel like you're ready and it's on your heart. We're giving you the resources. Go to visit elitepublications.org, contact myself or Jessie. And any final thought from you, Jessie?
Well, remember, time waits for no one. When you see someone else they've published a book with your title, and you go, they stole my book. No, no, they didn't. Because if it was deemed to be possible and purpose, then the idea you had just floats out of the universe and God gives it to someone else. So remember, take the advantage of your story. You could change someone else's life.
Yeah. And I might change it just a little bit. You're technically correct. I believe you will change somebody's life. And I think we're in sync there, just a little play on words there. But I'm really excited about where we're going, where we want to take you. If you're an author here, please contact us if you feel like we could be of any benefit to you. This is Jim T. Chong, the Walk Star, along with
Jessie Bowen.
This is the Become an Author podcast. Thank you for joining us. Have a good one. Bye-bye.